Okay, welcome to Daily 3D Revolve. Today I'm going to be doing a Corel Draw tutorial and I'm going to be showing you guys how to recreate 4 different logos. So we're going to go ahead and open up Corel Draw. We'll go to New. We're going to create a new 8.5 by 11. I like to change the orientation from portrait to landscape, so we'll do that. Then go ahead and go to File, Import. And we're going to import these 3 different logos. Or actually 4 different ones. Import. Just click 4 times. For the FedEx one, we'll rescale it down. We don't need it to be that big. Okay, so first one I'm going to do is this CK. And normally the first thing I'll do is I'll size the logo up as large as I can. I'll put it in the middle, and the shortcut to do that is with the graphics selected, just hit P on the keyboard and it'll go right to the center. So the next step we're going to do is with it highlighted, we're going to right mouse click and we're going to say lock object. Okay, I like to recreate everything in red so it's easy to see. So we're going to go ahead and draw a circle here. And now we're going to right mouse click over here on the red to change the outline to red. Now we're going to go ahead and fill it with solid. We'll go ahead and fill it with solid. We don't need an outline, so we can go ahead and take that off. So come up here to this little X, right mouse click. That'll take the line off. Now we're going to go to View. We're going to go View from Wireframe. So what we need to do is draw another circle. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Hold down the Shift key and Control. And we're going to size it up to right there. Okay, now what we need to do is use our shaping tool. So now if your shaping tool window is not open, you're going to want to come over here to Window. You're going to want to go down to Dockers and go down to Shaping and make sure there's a check next to it. So what we want to do is go click on this middle one, and we want to come over here and take off the weld and add trim. Then we want to click the trim here, and we want to come over here and click this one. Okay, now we want to go ahead and click on this, make sure we got what we needed. Okay, let's go ahead and click on that, hit delete. Okay, now we're going to go Control plus to zoom in. Now the easiest way to do these is to draw a line. So what we're going to do is get our Bezier line tool, and we're going to come from here down to here, and we're going to go ahead and hold down the Shift key so it's straight line. And then we need to figure out our thickness. So to do that, we'll just go ahead and go 10 point. Let's go to View. We'll view from normal. And we'll go ahead and right mouse click on red to turn that to red. So we need to probably do 30 point. So type in 30 there. And that's almost the right size. Let's type 34 point. Okay, 34 point is going to be a good line size. And now we need to click that node in the middle there and drag it down. Okay, so this is going to be our first line. Now we'll go ahead and get a second line. We're going to go from here over to here. Hold down Shift. We're going to do the same thing there. We're going to right mouse click on red to change the line to red, and we're going to type with that area highlighted 34. Okay, now we're going to get another line. You come from here, straight up, hold down Shift. With the line selected, we're going to change it to red, right mouse click, and then we're going to double click in this pen area here. We're going to change it to 34 point. Okay, and now we're going to draw these angled lines in here. So we'll go from the middle here, right to there. We're going to right mouse click on the red line, and then we're going to change it here to 34 point. Okay, that's going to be almost completed with this logo here. We'll go from here, center, up to here. Now we're going to go ahead and right mouse click on red again. We're going to double click in the pen area, type 34. Okay, this completes this logo. Now one last step we're going to do is we're going to go to View, Wireframe. We're going to highlight all these lines, so go ahead and hold down the Shift key to get all of these. And then we're going to come up here to Objects, and we're going to convert outline to objects. Okay, now we have these. So now what we want to do, we need to weld these together. So we'll go ahead and click on the first line, go to trim, change that to weld, go ahead and weld. We're going to weld to there, then weld again, and we're going to go to the circle. Then we're going to click this one, go to weld, weld it to there. Then we're going to go click weld again, weld it to there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead to get our cutouts, our cutout area. So Control plus, let's see what we got so far. Go to normal. Okay, that's what we need. Go back to wireframe. So to do the wireframe trim, the easiest, we're just going to go up here, drag down, create a rectangle. Then we're going to go trim, change the weld to trim. We're going to click on trim, click right in here. Then we're going to get rid of that box. Now we're going to go ahead and create another trim. You're going to basically just create a box with your Bezier curve. Make sure you click on the last node so it completes the image. Then you're going to hit trim. You're going to click right there, and then you're going to get rid of this one. Okay, now let's go scroll down. And you got to put these two in there. The best way to do that is to go ahead and just start here, click, go over to here, click. Then you can just kind of click around the object and then go to the end. Okay, now we're going to go click on the arrow tool, we're going to trim, and we're going to click here. I'll go ahead and delete. And now we need to bring this image up to here. So to do that, we're going to go to our shaper tool. We're going to drag a marquee around the two nodes. These are called nodes, these little squares, and we're just going to click and drag. We're going to drag up like this. Okay, right to there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and click on this. Let's scroll down. Okay, we need to weld this, so we're going to go ahead and change this from trim to weld, and we're going to go weld. Click on weld, and then we're going to weld it to here. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and round this corner here, so go ahead and get your Bezier curve tool. We're going to click here, then we're going to click over here, and you're going to just kind of drag it until it's round. And then just kind of click around until you go to the node there, and then close it. And now we're going to go ahead and trim this. So change weld to trim, click on the trim, and then click on the actual K part. And now you're going to delete that. Okay, now we're going to go view, make sure this is good. Control minus. This looks pretty good. We're going to click and drag it out of the way. The only other thing I need to do is change a couple of pieces right here. So we're going to change this back to black because that's the color of the logo. And we're going to Control plus, Control plus. Let's go ahead and click on this and move it up. And what you're going to do is get your shaper tool, and you're going to go ahead and highlight those two. Or actually undo, undo. Don't get that one. Just these two right there. And then you're just going to use your nudge arrow keys to go to there so it's even. And now you're going to do the same with this. You're going to click, select that node, hold down the shift key, get that node, and then just kind of just move them over. This has to go. We'll go ahead and delete that. You can delete nodes too, so they're straight. Go ahead and get rid of those. Delete. This Control minus, Control minus. Okay, this is going to be your HK logo that we recreated. Now normally I would just trace this. To do that, you just unlock the object, right mouse click on it, do outline trace, detailed logo, and then just let this do its thing. Then okay, it's much quicker to do a trace, but I wanted to use the tools to show you guys how to recreate these. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. Get rid of that. Control minus. Okay, this is going to be our first logo that we created. We're going to click on that little square node, hold down the shift key, and we're going to scale this. And we'll just put that one up there. Okay, that's logo number one. Now to do the FedEx one, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. Pull that into there. We're going to blow it up a little bit. We're going to right mouse click, and we're going to go lock. Okay, Okay, now you're going to get a font that's similar to this. So you're going to go FedEx. Okay, now this is probably similar to a black. Probably this black here is closest. So we'll go ahead and scale that up. Now what you want to do, we have to go ahead and with the text selected, come up here to object. We want to convert to curves. Then we want to go back up to objects and break apart curve. So now we're going to take these letters. This is why I do everything in red. So go ahead and change that F to red. Control plus to zoom in. It's much easier if you're you want to be able to trace something with a lot of efficiency, so you're not making mistakes. You go ahead and change to red, and that way you'll know if you're not right. So go ahead and select those nodes. Use your arrow nudge off keys and just kind of click till it's close. Then you're going to do the same thing with these. You're going to select those two nodes, and then you're going to use your right nudge arrow keys to move over. Okay, that's the F part. Let's do Control minus. Now what you have to do is combine these right here back up. So go ahead and select just the E, and then go up to Objects and say Combined. And that'll group that back together. Do the B or the D. Go ahead and go to Objects, Combined. Okay, now you're going to drag that up to there. You're going to change it to red. So go ahead and regular mouse click, and then we're going to scale this down a little bit. So hold down the Shift key, kind of put that in the middle, and then hold down the Shift key again and scale it up. And then we're going to go ahead and pull that down there and use our nudge arrows to move over. That's pretty close. Now we'll go ahead and get the D, change it to red. We'll go ahead and get our shaper tool. We're going to drag a marquee around these two nodes, and we're going to use the arrow keys to move up. And then we're going to go ahead and select it, get our shaper tool. We're going to drag two marquees around these and use the nudge arrow key to move over. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's Control minus. Now we're going to grab that E, and then we're going to go ahead and put that E up there. We got to do a lot of changes to the E. So just what you can do right now is just go ahead and grab a node and then just stretch it. Okay, and I'll go ahead and make it red. And what you can do for more control is go ahead and go to wireframe. Wireframe will show you whether you need to make more changes or not. So go ahead and select those nodes right there, move down. Go ahead and select these two, move over to the left with your nudge arrows. And go ahead and select these two down here, move those over to the left. Go ahead and select these, move them up. Then select these two and move them to the right. Okay, that's pretty close. Now this F here, you're going to have to make some changes. So go ahead and select it, go to the shaper tool, just drag a marquee around these two nodes, and then just move them up. And then I'll do the same thing on these two nodes, move them up, and then do the same thing on those two nodes, move them over to the left. Okay. So this looks pretty good. I'm not going to complain about that. And now this X, move that X into place. Go ahead and grab that square there and just kind of truncate it. It looks like that's might be all we have to do to this. And then we'll go ahead and get your shaper tool. Click on one node. Count your clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do the same on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's just so you're accurate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clicks to the left. 6 clicks to the right. We'll go ahead and drag a marquee around those top nodes and we'll move it up. And now there's your FedEx logo. Okay, let's go ahead and Control minus to zoom out. Let's take our logo out of the way. Right mouse click, unlock. Let's drag it out to here. Let's go ahead and see what we got to change. So normal. So it looks like you're going to go ahead and give these right here a color. So we'll go ahead and go all of these. Now what you can do is get your dropper tool and then go ahead and click. Oh, I won't change that because that's a logo. So we'll just get close enough. Go ahead and hold down the shift key, get the Fed part of that, and then we'll go ahead and give it a dark blue color. And then go ahead and get the EX with the shift key down. We'll give this kind of a yellow color. The only other thing we need to do is put the Federal Express on there. So we'll go ahead and Control plus, get your text tool. I'll click right below, type in Federal Express. We'll go, I want to change that font there. It looks like this might be Clarendon. And then we'll go ahead and make it red. This is just my technique. You can pick whatever color you want. This is just an easy way for me if I have to retrace something to make sure that it's as close as possible. And see, that's how you can tell. So that's good right there. We'll just go ahead and drag this over. Now we got to make it that same blue. Okay, so there's your logo there, FedEx logo. You could fine tune it once you get to this point. So we're going to go ahead and select everything with the FedEx logo, and then we're going to do Control G to group it, Control minus. We're going to scale this down, hold down your shift key so it's not truncated, and then we'll drag that up there. That's our second logo. So now let's get these out of the way, move them up. We'll do our Adidas. Going to go ahead and blow that up. Right mouse click. We're going to lock it. Okay, now we're going to Control plus. Now let's kind of move this down. Now we're going to go to our wireframe. So view, wireframe. Now you're going to go ahead and you're going to draw 3 lines in there with your Bezier tool from the center to center. Undo. Let's go select to click off. Let's get your line tool again. Go from the center to the center. Now you're going to get your line tool again and go center to center. Okay, so these are your lines that you're going to use. Now we need to go ahead and click on them. We need to go to the point size. It's a very big line. So in order for us to see, we got to go to normal. And then we need to change the line to red. So right mouse click with the line selected. And I'm going to guess it's 60 point. Oh, it's much bigger. It's probably more like 90. Okay, you go double click, put 100, maybe 120. Okay, so 120. Now we're going to go click the shape edit tool. We're going to drag this down. Okay. Now we're going to go click on that other line, make it red. Come over here and type highlight, type 120. Let's go right mouse click over here so it's red. Then we're going to get our shape tool. We're going to click that line and we're going to drag it down. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is get rid of that line, the line that I drew here. Delete it. We're just going to copy this. But we're going to Control plus first. We're going to go to View Wireframe. And we're going to actually go back to View, go to Normal. You're going to click with the Node Edit tool, the Shape tool right up here. You're going to click this one and you're just going to drag it around to the right so it's lined up a little bit better. Do the same with that. Click and drag it over to your right. Click and drag. A little bit more here. Okay, that's good. Now you're going to go ahead and copy that line. So Control C on the keyboard, Control V. Now you're going to drag this over to here. Okay, so now you got your lines. So now what we have to do is go to View, go to Wireframe. We're going to select all of these lines that we just drew. We're going to hold down the Shift key to get all three of them. Now we're going to come up to Objects, and we're going to go down to Convert Outline to Objects. Okay, now it's a box here. So now we're going to go ahead and click here, and we're going to drag a marquee. Make sure you cover all the lower parts of the lines. And then we're going to go up to here, Trim, and we're going to trim away this stuff. And we're going to get rid of our box and get rid of these. Oh, actually, it looks like it only did one. So go ahead and do that. Get your rectangle tool again. Let's go around these. Go ahead and trim. Click that one. Now you have to do it again, so go ahead and select that box, trim, and then click on the box. Actually, select that box up there from the top, trim. Oh, it's not deleting it. I have to do a couple of undos, so go ahead and make sure that I didn't. Okay, undo. All right, now go trim. Something's going on with this thing. Okay, so let's undo that. With the bottom box selected, you want to go ahead and go trim, and then trim. Click that box up there. Okay, now do the same up here. Click the top box, select trim, and then bottom box. Oh no, actually I did that wrong again. Okay, sorry. Bottom box first. Trim, top box. We got it back to undo a few times. Okay, so select the bottom box, trim, select the top box, select the bottom box, trim, select top box, bottom box, select the bottom box, select trim, select the top of this. Okay, sorry about that. Got my trim the wrong direction there. Okay, now we're going to go to View. We're going to View to Normal. Now we can go ahead and put in the Adidas. So we'll just go ADDADIDAS. Okay, this is just going to be probably, that's going to be a Futura font. So Futura MD Bold. I'll go ahead and scale this up. Might have to change a few things. It's not perfect. Actually, that's not Futura. That might be Arial. Not Arial. It looks like it's Futura, but no. This font is very round. Okay, now one thing I was going to show you, if you can't find the font, you could always draw it, and that's not that hard to do. I will show you how to redraw it. Okay, so what we want to do is delete the text. Okay, now we're going to go to View from Wireframe. We're going to redraw this. So let's go ahead and draw a circle in here. So click in the middle there, drag out. Let's go ahead and copy, Control C, Control V, the circle that we just drew. Grab the little square on the top, hold down your Control and the Shift. Or just the Shift, sorry about that. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and get a rectangle tool. I'm going to go from here straight down. Okay, You only have to draw one of those. I'm going to show you how. And so we're going to go ahead and select there. We're going to come over here to trim. Then yes, and then we're going to go to here. Okay, now you have that piece there. And now we're going to go ahead and get rid of that middle. Delete. And now we're going to go ahead and select that rectangle that we drew. We're going to change trim to weld. Then we're going to weld to here. Okay, now we're going to Control C, Control V. We're going to copy this over to here. Control C, Control V. We're going to copy this over to here. Control C, Control V. We're going to copy this over to here. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to select that second, the D, and we're going to get the shaper tool. We're going to drag a marquee around these two nodes, and we're going to use the shift, your keyboard, offset shift arrows. Okay, now that we have that one, we don't have to do this one. So we'll just go ahead and Control C, Control V. Now you're going to hold down the shift key. We're going to drag that over. Okay, now you just have to put your A in there, which is no big deal. We'll just go ahead and come from there straight down. Now we're going to draw another rectangle straight across through the middle. Now we're going to come up here and change weld to trim. We're going to click trim, and then we're going to trim that little middle piece out of the eye. Then we're going to delete. Okay, now all we have to add is that S. So you can just get an S that's close. Let's go ahead and type S. We're going to change this to Futura. Oh, that's not Futura. That's probably... Scroll up on the fonts. Let's go to Arial. It's pretty close to maybe an Arial Bold. We can go ahead and use the Arial Bold. So we're going to go ahead and put that in there. Control plus. I'm going to just grab a node there in the corner. I'm going to kind of stretch it a little bit. Stretch it down. Then we're going to stretch it up here. Okay. Now that's going to be good. You're going to select that S, go to Objects. We're going to create outline, create curves. Okay, now you're going to Control plus. Now we're going to actually get our Bezier curve. We're going to go from there straight across, hold down the Shift key. Then we're going to come straight down, draw it in the middle here. It's okay. Now go to the end, click your node. You're going to have that shape. Now what you're going to do is change trim to weld. Then you're going to weld to here. Okay, that's one piece. Now you're going to do the same up here at the top. You're going to go ahead and get your Bezier tool. You're going to go from there over to here, hold down the Shift key, go up to there, and then you're going to drag, close that shape. Not sure if I closed the shape. Let's zoom in. I can't really see this. So we're going to go from close, make sure that that's closed. It won't work if it's not closed. So then we're going to go ahead and weld to here. Then we're going to go ahead and get our shape tool. We're going to click on that node here or select it. And we're just going to move it over. Actually, I'm just going to delete it. Okay, so now I'm going to go Control minus. All right, this is going to be our Adidas. So we're going to view from normal. Now we're going to click, right mouse click on the logo, unlock it, delete. Okay, now you're going to go ahead and drag a marquee around these. You're going to change the fill to black. Let's get these. Hold down your Shift key. Get these multiple selections, change to black. Now you're going to change these to black. Hold down your Shift key to get all three black. Control minus. Control minus. Okay, this is our Adidas logo. We're going to go ahead and select it. Group. We're going to scale down. I'm going to drag this over to here. Okay, the last one we're going to do is a Batman logo. I'm going to go ahead and scale that up. Right mouse click. You're going to come down here to lock. Control plus. go Control plus again. Let's scroll over, scroll that up. Okay, now we're going to actually come over here to view by wireframe. We're going to draw half of this shape. So what we need to do is drag a guide right to the center there. Since this is concentric, we're going to draw half, then we're going to flip it over. So we'll go ahead and start with our Bezier tool. We're going to click there, and then we're going to hold down the Shift key, click there, and then we're going to click the top of the ear. Then we're going to come down and start to create these click. What you want to do is click and drag. Go up to here if you can do the whole thing, click and drag. Okay, now you're going to double click on your node point to redirect it. You're going to click and drag. Actually undo that. It's a little shorter. Undo. Let's go ahead and redirect. Double click. Now you're going to come to here, click and drag. Now you're going to go to there, click and drag. Now you're going to redirect, so double click on the node. You're going to come midway up to that point there, come to here. Now you need to redirect, so double click, and then you're going to click here. You're going to click there, pull, and then you're going to click at the bottom there. Then you're going to come up here to the top, click. Okay, now we have our half of a shape. So we're going to go ahead and click that piece there. We're going to Control C, Control V. You're going to grab this node here, and you're going to hold down Control key, and you're going to flip a copy over. Okay. Now what you have to do is go ahead and click on that right shape. Use your nudge arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move it over 5. Move this one over 3. Okay, now you're going to go ahead and click on that one. You're going to weld. You're going to weld it to here. Okay, now you're going to have to do some cleanup work on this. So go ahead and get your Bezier tool. Go from there down to the bottom. Then just draw around that little tail. Close it. Now you're going to come over here, change weld to trim. Then you're going to come in and trim from here. Okay, now you're going to click on that piece, and you're going to hold down the Control key and flop it over. And now you're going to trim this from here. You're going to get rid of that. Control minus, Control minus, Control minus. Okay, let me just close the door here real quick. Okay, now you're going to go ahead and get your circle tool. And you're going to come from the center. Okay, and then you want to drag up to there. Now you're going to pull the bottom. Actually undo. Now with the circle selected, you're going to go ahead and pull to the right, but you want to hold down the Shift key because that's going to give you another shape. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and select that shape that we just drew. Control C, Control V, and then we're going to go ahead and click and drag, hold down the Shift key. That's going to give us the other shape. Now we're going to click and drag, pull to the right with the Shift key held down. Let's go ahead and let's move this out of the way. So right mouse click on the logo. We're going to drag it out to here. We're going to go to View, View Normal. Okay, now we want to click on this, and we want to drag it. I want to turn off the snaps here. So snap, turn off objects, click that box, that second or the inside oval, hold down the Control key and just drag it out so it matches. Okay, that's good. So now we're going to go ahead and fill this with black. Then we're going to fill the second circle with yellow. And then we're going to fill this. Let's go ahead and go to View, View of Wireframe. Let's go ahead and select our Batman, go to View, go back to Normal, and we're going to change that to black. Then we need to go ahead and go back up to objects, and we're going to go to order, and we're going to click this to front of page. And now we'll get rid of our regular graphic. Okay, that's going to be today's tutorial. We'll group this, Control G on the keyboard. We're going to scale it down. And now we'll put all the logos on the page here. We'll click on our guide and get rid of it, Control minus. So this is going to be our Adidas logo. This is going to be our HK logo. And this is going to be our FedEx logo. Okay, that's going to end today's tutorial. Hopefully you enjoyed watching. You got something useful out of this video. It's very easy to trace these, but I wanted to actually, for demonstration purposes and for the sake of this tutorial, I wanted to actually show you how to create this stuff the old-fashioned way normally, because that's going to teach you how to use the tools. Okay, thanks for watching.